And, you know, I shot my shot. I was shooting my shot, you know. I was shooting my shot, you know, I tried to smash. Come to the bar where I'm at was slightly disrespectful. Kind of shows you the undertone of her respect whenever it comes to even speaking with men.
We just got the most unexpected beef in MMA, Joanna Jedrzejczyk versus Jamahal Hill. And like this post says right here, yes, it is very funny. So in this video, we are going to get into just what happened between Joanna Jedrzejczyk and Jamahal Hill at UFC 323 that led to all of this drama. Stick around for the full story. My name is Wyatt. Welcome to Fight Society. Before we get into the video, guys, do me a huge favor, like and subscribe down below. Also, do me a huge favor and hit that hype button. All you got to do is, if you're watching on your phone, swipe left on the comment section and hit that hype button down below. It's a new YouTube feature that helps push us even more than liking and subscribing, okay? So let's get into it. Here we have a very short clip. It's only 11 seconds long, but it is of an altercation, or I guess argument, taking place between Jamahal Hill, former UFC light heavyweight champion, and Joanna Jedrzejczyk, former UFC women's strawweight champion. And this was in the UFC VIP lounge at UFC 323. Here's the clip right here. Very short clip. And there's really not much to take from this, but right here you have, he says, "I'll knock you the fuck out," to Joanna Jedrzejczyk, and she says, "You will?" He says, "If you touch my girl, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out." And she goes, "You will?" He says, "Period, get the fuck out of my face." Clearly, it's just somebody else in the VIP lounge that's sneaking this right here, trying to get a clip of it. Either there's some no filming rule or there's someone just trying to be sneaky about filming. That previous clip was uploaded by MMA Guru. This right here from Red Wolf MMA, courtesy of Capo de Bella. This says, clip of Joanna Jedrzejczyk and Jamahal Hill moments before the altercation, calmly talking to one another. No other woman in sight. The plot thickens. Here you see Joanna right here and Jamahal Hill right here. And that's literally all the clip is. That's literally the entire clip right there. The plot thickens here because many people are saying that Jamahal Hill's girlfriend or wife or whatever was there in the present moment, and that she was like getting in Joanna's face, or Joanna was getting in her face, and Jamahal was standing up for his girl saying, "If you touch her, I'm gonna knock you out." So right here, we have Joanna Jedrzejczyk giving her response to it, and she doesn't address anything. All she does is kind of give like a PR trained answer, kind of glazing the UFC security for the sake of maintaining her relationship with the UFC, because for her and Jamahal Hill, this happening in the VIP section, whether that be for the VIP experience that they sell or if it's for the fighters to hang out in, whatever, it's a fucking terrible look. It's the type of thing that gets you uninvited from future UFC events unless you're on the card. This is what she had to say right here.
Guys, I worked so hard to earn my reputation, and I'm embarrassed to be in this situation, but when somebody uses my name falsely without any basis in truth, I will always stand up for myself.
I don't really understand what she's getting at here. Nobody used her name falsely, because at this point, Jamahal Hill hadn't even said anything yet.
And for that, I do not deserve to be threatened. I am mindful that I am a strong, capable woman who has the benefit of a lifetime of self-defense training. I have a platform and resources that most women don't have. So I empathize with the women who are disrespected and threatened, and lack the power and means to stand up for themselves and to stand up for the truth. I expect more from the society.
But do you expect more from Fight Society? No, I'm just playing.
I certainly expect more from athletes in our sport. I want to thank the UFC security and staff for their professionalism. I consider this matter closed, and I wish everyone a happy and healthy holiday season.
Literally didn't say anything. And before you guys get in my comments and say, yeah, Jamahal Hill, he threatened to hit a woman and you're defending him, let me just say it right off the bat. Hitting a woman is wrong. We talked about this in my video about Kayla Harrison, Anthony Rocco, Martin, Tyrone Spong. I talked about that a couple weeks ago, or maybe a week ago. Yes, okay, domestic violence is wrong. Hitting a woman is wrong, but I do understand Jamahal Hill standing up for his girl. Now that we have that shit out of the way, so you guys can fucking avoid my comment section with the Wyatt from Fight Society defending a domestic abuser type of comment, because that's not what we're doing. But with that said, Joanna is not explaining anything. She says that when her name gets brought in some sort of falsehood and things like that, that she's going to stand up for herself. But she didn't stand up for herself at all. She just said that she won't let anyone use her name falsely and that she is strong and capable and has resources that other women don't. And thanks to the UFC security, and this matter's closed. Very PR trained answer. You can see she's literally like reading a script while giving this statement. Frankly, I understand she's trying to maintain this like classy boss woman type of vibe for the UFC, especially now that she's more of like an ambassador for the UFC, because she's just not fighting anymore. So she has to keep herself relevant somehow. And if she's going to be an ambassador for the UFC, she can't be caught up in this type of stuff. With that said, she did not tell her side of the story at all, which then prompted Jamahal Hill to tell his side of the story on this matter. And this right here, this is a little bit long, but we're going to go through the whole thing. This is Jamahal Hill's side of the story.
And that I must address. We're going to talk about it. We're going to actually articulate, and I'm going to tell y'all what happened. How about this? My girl wasn't even there. My girl was not at the fights at UFC 323.
Very interesting there, and it clears up a lot of the rumors that are going around. Some people saying that Jamal's girl was trying to pick a fight with Joanna. Other people saying that Joanna was trying to pick a fight with Jamal's girl. None of that took place because Jamal's girlfriend, wife, whatever, was not there.
I brought my younger brother. We went. I went down. I watched Nazim's fight. You know, Nazim Sadikov was my boy. We watched this fight. We go upstairs to the VIP lounge, right? I walk into the area. You know, I greet other people there. Diego Lopez was there. Andre Philly was there. And then Joanna was there. I greet everybody. I go up to Joanna. I say, hey, what's up, champ? How you doing? She's like, oh, hey, yeah, what's up? Where's your girl? Oh, your girl's not here? Where's your girl?
So Jamal tried to be friendly and Joanna was on smoke off the bat.
I'm like, no. I was like, nah, she's not. I was like, nah, she's not here. You know, what's up? If there was one thing that I wish about this whole incident, I wish I just had like a GoPro on to where I didn't have to say anything. I didn't have to speak or anything. I could just press play and people could see the complete insane shit that went down from this lady. She's, oh, hey, what's up? Your girl's not here? Where's your girl? I'm like, no, she's not here. What's up? She's like, oh, yeah, nah, you big Mr. Player, man, Mr. Big Time. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you know, she like, yeah, nah, I don't know. Like, I don't know how you get down in America, you know, but I'm from Poland. We real gangsters. I don't do this shit. I don't play this shit. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, what happened? So I asked her about this. I said, was something said or did you hear something? Like, talk to me. Like, what's going on? What are you upset about? This lady just completely flipped her shit. Like, she's going off. She's like, nah, motherfucker. You like, yeah, motherfucker. You like talking shit. Like, you like talking shit. I'm like, okay. This is the first, like, illegible thing that she's really said that I'm really able to, like, I was like, okay, I was talking shit. Let's start there. What did I say? She said, no, I don't do this. I'm from Poland, motherfucker. Like, you talk. I was like, Joanna, I'm just trying to understand, like, what you're upset about.
So it's a little bit weird because clearly Joanna's saying A, Jamal is hearing B, and he's asking her what A meant, and she refuses to explain what B meant. 2, there's the language barrier. I know Joanna clearly speaks English from the past video. She clearly speaks English, but there's a little bit of like a dialect or slang type of difference where Joanna doesn't fully understand what he's saying and he doesn't understand what she's saying. And also They're at the fights. They're drinking. There's some sort of, like, you ever seen when two drunk people are at the bar arguing and they're like about to start throwing hands and neither of them is making any sense, but you just feel the tension rising? I mean, even back in college, I remember, like, I played baseball in college and I remember there was like a lot of times that teammates would start messing with each other a little bit when they were drunk, like talking shit, just friendly shit talk. And then without even really knowing what happened, these dudes are like ready to go outside and settle it, without even really knowing why they're mad. And this is kind of what it seems like here. It sounds like they're like, no, you're talking shit. Oh, you're talking shit. What did I say? No, you're talking shit. Fuck you. Like all this type of stuff. That's kind of what it sounds like. It sounds like a massive misunderstanding from this point where they're both drunk. They both have a whole lot of stuff going on. There's other fighters around. There's fans around. They got friends fighting. They're making paid appearances. They're both operating on a very high tense frequency, I guess you could say, and they're not matching up with each other.
What did I say? What you're upset about? Articulate it for me. She said, oh no, if I articulate, what is this? I'm not no fucking lawyer. I don't have no fucking lawyer, you know, like I just do this bullshit. I'm from Poland. Like I fuck you up. I fuck you up. I'm not fucking scared. I'm like, whoa, now she's threatening me. Then she says, well, I should have.
So the tension and the smoke, let's be real, came from Joanna. She immediately said, where's your girl? And then she's saying, I'm gonna fuck you up, to a grown-ass man that's also a pro fighter and probably twice her weight. I assume Joanna, she fight at 115. She's probably in the 120s or 30s right now because she's not fighting anymore. Jamal's way out of camp. He's injured. He's getting knee surgeries, all that stuff. Jamal's probably 230, 240 right now. 250 maybe even. He got really big at one point when he tore his Achilles. Double her weight, and also a former champion, world champion UFC fighter. She's saying, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Smash your girl's head in, go over and fucking smash your head in too.
So she's threatening Jamal and his girl.
Give a fuck, man. I don't give a fuck. Now I'm like, she's threatening me. Now she's threatening my girl. I have not threatened her. I have not raised my voice to her. All I've asked her is, what is the issue? What is going on? I asked her one more time. Can you articulate for me what the issue is? What was said? She said, no, you talking shit. You talking shit. Okay, if I'm talking shit, what did I say? Oh, no, I don't know. I just know you talking shit. I just hear you talking shit. I was like, so you are upset with me and you saying you don't know what I said. You can't tell me what I said, and you can't just you're just this upset, but you can't tell me what I was said or what you're upset about.
It sounds like a drunk person. It sounds like a aggressively drunk woman getting in his face, screaming at him. Because even here, like, Jamal was saying, what's wrong? What are you upset about? What did I say? And when he starts to get defensive is when she mentions his girl. Now, I relate to that, and I think most of us guys can, where it's like, okay, insult me. There's a little bit of a leash there. You can talk a little bit of shit. You can threaten me. It doesn't mean this is going to go somewhere. But when you start talking shit about my girlfriend or my wife or my mom or something like that, that's when the issue becomes real, because you're not talking about me. You're talking about someone that I care about. So I understand where Jamahal Hill starts getting more frustrated when she starts saying, I'm going to cave your girl's head in and then your head. This is where Jamal starts threatening her. So that 12-second clip makes Jamahal Hill look really, really bad because he's threatening a much smaller woman with physical violence. And I know some of you guys are going to say, I'm not a Jamahal Hill fan. I know he's a really unlikable guy. I'm Team Poetan all the way. Jamahal Hill pisses me off more times than not. I've made plenty of videos talking shit about him. I made videos talking shit about him beating up his brother over a house cleaning fee like 2 years ago, where Jamahal Hill got arrested for it. I know there's some people like fucking MMA Joey's bitch ass saying that it was domestic violence. It was him and his brother getting into a fist fight, all right, over money. Oh, Jamahal Hill's wrong because he threatened a woman, all this different stuff. You have to actually take in all the other context. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to actually take in the other context and throw out the fact that Jamahal Hill is a fucking super unlikable guy. Because I don't like Jamahal Hill. I think he's annoying. I think the way that he treated Pereira before getting knocked out was funny. I remember watching UFC 300 and all the shit talk that Jamahal Hill had made me so annoyed. And Jamahal Hill getting knocked out at UFC 300, I remember running up to my TV, slapping my hands together like this and yelling at the TV, saying, all that shit talk for what? All that talk for what? I was so happy to see Jamahal Hill get KO'd by my favorite fighter, Poetan Pereira. I don't think, at least to this point, I don't think Jamahal Hill is in the wrong in this situation.
She's like, nah, she's like, I don't know. You talking shit. I was like, I don't care whatever reason why you're mad. I don't care. It is what it is, and you sound fucking retarded. Like, I told her, you sound retarded. As soon as now the UFC staff come, They grab her. I mean, they grab her, start moving her away through the. And now she's getting real loud, talking about oh yeah, well, just wait, man, just wait. I fuck you and I fuck your girl up. I fuck your girl. And now I'm like, yo, if you would have touched my girl, I would have knocked you the fuck out. And if you touch my girl, I'm going to knock you the fuck out. This stemmed from, we were at an event. Now, me, my girl, Joanna, her manager, we were all seated at the same table, right? Everybody's getting along. Everybody's chopping it up. There's absolutely no problems.
And for context, this was at Madison Square Garden, UFC 295 in 2023, I think. This is when all those UFC fighters got attacked by the Palestine protesters, their bus and all of that. And also the card where Alex Pereira fought Yuri Prohaska and became light heavyweight champ. It's also the card where Tom Aspinall filled in on 10 days notice and beat Sergey Pavlovich to become interim heavyweight champ after Jones versus Stipe was pulled off of the card when Jones tore his pec. So there's the context of when all of this started, because this didn't just start randomly at UFC 323. It started at UFC 295.
At all. Joanna's manager is playing this little game. Now, just flat out, there's no way. There's just to give y'all straight up context and just to let y'all know, I'm being straight up.
Wait, super random, but does Jamal have like fucking Duracell batteries?
Honest, a couple.
Are those like Duracell batteries in his fucking watch? What the hell is that?
Years ago in New York, like when the whole thing with the bus incident happened, a bunch of us were in there. Joanna was in New York, and I was in New York. You know, I was feeling myself. I was drunk, and I shot my shot. I was shooting my shot, I was shooting my shot, I tried to smash, right?
Bro, the fact that he's admitting to this is fucking nuts. He's with his girl sitting at the same table as Joanna and Joanna's manager in New York with his girl, and he's trying to fuck. Dogs gotta eat. That's all I gotta say, dude. I guess the dogs gotta eat. And then he's still with the girl, and she's siding with him. Like, they're still together. Even with this info out there, it's actually kind of crazy to me.
Her manager, the entire time we're at this event, is like subliminally trying to drop messages to my girl, like trying to dry snitch. Bro, I'm real, bro.
Trying to dry snitch. I mean, this is the thing that's funny. I don't want to go too deep into this because it's an MMA channel and, we're talking about an MMA beef here. But this is what happens, dude. Girls will cheat on their guy. Not even just girls, but girls will cheat on their man and their friends will help cover it up. But if a guy cheats on his girl, her friends will go out of the way. The infamous "Hey girly" text that gets talked about on social media. It's like if Joanna was to cheat on her man, her friends would fucking cover it up. But Jamal trying to cheat on his girl with Joanna and her manager's trying to snitch him out. I'm not saying it's wrong to snitch him out. You shouldn't cheat on your girlfriend. But this is what happens. It's actually kind of the same thing with guys too. It's like your bro cheats on his girl every weekend when you all go out and you don't snitch him out to his girlfriend. But if you catch his girlfriend cheating, she's getting ratted out ASAP.
I'm real. I'm a very honest and transparent person. My girl already knew this. She is that. So she just straight up turns to Joanna and says, "You had sex with Jamal?" Like, says this to her in front of my girl, which understandably could be embarrassing for her.
Bro, I'm just seeing Jamal's face right here, and I'm just picturing him like he just tried to smash Joanna. It didn't work out, apparently. And he's sitting there with his girl, sitting across from the girl he tried to cheat with. And he's like, fuck, I hope they don't say anything. I fucking hope they don't say anything, bro. I'm going to get caught. And Joanna's manager goes, "You had sex with Jamal?" Like claiming a body that she didn't even get. And then Jamal's just like sitting there all stressed. He's like, fuck, I'm in trouble and I didn't even get to hit.
Right? Which is something I absolutely never said. I said, I try to sleep with her.
That's fucking hilarious. Quick break. If you're loving this video and you want more from Fight Society, click that join button down below to become a channel member today, where you'll get access to members only live streams, behind the scenes vlogs, and all the unfiltered stuff that we don't post to the main channel. Back to the video. But anyways, he drops the DMs.
So this is from New York, right? I hit her up. What are you doing? She sends me a video, her drinking, a little wink or whatever in the glass, Her response, "Come to the hookah bar." Well, hookah bar. She drops her, you know what I mean? So I went to my room for a minute, kicked it, was talking, to send her a couple messages. And then I was like, I'm probably going to chill at the bar here. Why don't you come here?
And he says, they won't let me leave. The bus got attacked by protesters when we left. I remember that whole story.
Charlie didn't say nothing. It was like, come on, come to the bar where I'm at. You know, was slightly disrespectful. Kind of shows you the undertone of how she, you know what I mean, her respect whenever it comes to even speaking with men. She says her location with me.
And she says, don't cry like a bitch. Come on, we're 4 minutes away.
The bar where I'm at, you know, was slightly disrespectful. Kind of shows you the undertone of how she, you know what I mean, her respect whenever it comes to even speaking with men. She says her location with me. I go to the bar. We chill. We had some drinks. I seen the type of attitude she has. It wasn't really clicking or going nowhere. So it was like, it was what it was. I'm like, cool. I took my ball and I went home. You know what I mean? I'm going to take my ball and I'm going to go home. I'm not making shots today. The shot's not going in today.
He said he took his ball and go home. He did not have the Dion Waiters mentality, saying I'd rather go 0 for 30 than 0 for 9. Because when you go 0 for 9, that means you stop shooting. That means you lost confidence. Jamahal Hill lost confidence. This shooter stopped shooting, all right? He wasn't feeling it. He took his ball and went home. He clearly did not have the Dion Waiters classic confidence.
That's it. Like, that's like the gist of it. So even if you go further down in these messages, you can see, all right, shaking my head, whatever. You know what I mean? Dip, we cool. After this, there was no bad blood from this. No bad blood from this. You know what I mean?
See, like this, it didn't work out. And then she hit him randomly 6 months later saying, champ, all the best. I think this was the week of UFC 300 or right before. So she said, then he said, thanks, champ. And then she says, happy birthday a month later.
All the best. Thanks, champ. This is how whenever I got to the event, I walked up and I addressed her and I approached her this way. She completely flipped on me. I still right now am now being looked at, painted everywhere, which way and all this. I still don't know why she's mad. If she can tell anybody why she's mad, please, truly, let me know.
So there we have Jamahal Hill's take on the matter. I respect the honesty. I know it's not super cool or anything like that to be trying to fuck coworkers essentially while you're with your girl on a trip for a work trip, essentially is what happened. But still, he's being honest that he shot his shot while he has a girl and didn't hit. You know what I'm saying? This is so embarrassing for Jamahal Hill's girlfriend, man. He made his girlfriend look so stupid, and they're still together. So now, knowing that Jamahal Hill made his girlfriend look this fucking stupid, it makes sense why at UFC 300 or at UFC 311, after Yuri Prochazka beat Jamahal Hill, you had this right here. This is at a bar in LA after UFC 311 where they fought. Yuri and Jamahal Hill having a drink together. And a lot of people were talking about how Jamahal Hill's girl right here was really eyeing Yuri Prochazka, kind of looking like she was into him. And so now this clip right here makes a little more sense where, you know, Jamahal made her look dumb, embarrassed her, all that stuff, trying to smash Joanna while they were on a trip to New York together for UFC 295. Then fast forward like a year and some change, like a year and 3 or 4 months, Jamahal gets TKO'd by Yuri Prochazka, and now she's eyeing Yuri. Now this clip makes way more sense now. You see right here, she's checking him out. She looks him up and down. She kind of has some eyes for him. You see that? I'm not trying to make her look bad. I'm not trying to say everybody go call Jamahal Hill's girl names or say she's for the streets or something like that. But look at this right here. Yuri's looking at Jamahal. This is her looking at Yuri. I'm not saying she's anything. I just think that she's a woman that was embarrassed by her man really badly, and I think she has desires about evening the score. She's eyeing Yuri hella hard. She eyes Yuri hella hard for multiple moments, is all I'm saying. But Jamahal Hill told his side of the story, and frankly, I appreciate the honesty where he just says, yeah, I shot my shot. I tried to cheat on my girl with her, and I fumbled and got embarrassed, all this stuff. Joanna just gives some like PR-ready statement, which makes her look way worse. It makes her look dishonest, to be honest, talking about how hard she worked for her reputation. It's like your reputation's not getting slandered because people are making things up about you. People are slandering you or people are talking shit about you and you're ruining your reputation because you're a fucking crash out. So here, we'll go through the DMs real quick because Jamahal kind of skipped through them quick, but says, what you doing? And then she sends a video. He sends one back. And she says, come to hookah bar near the hotel. They won't let me leave. We got attacked by protesters. I'm at the bar at the hotel. You should come here. She says, don't cry like a bitch. We're 4 minutes away. He says, what? Never that, because his masculinity was very threatened. And he goes, what's your phone number? She sends a map, or Google Maps, and says, try to find me. So she's playing games, trying to be like, come look for me. I mean, like, most of us guys know, like, some girls do this shit. The try to find me, or they get mad that you have a girlfriend. Joanna sounds like a fucking crazy ass. You know what I'm saying? So he says, what? It's on Polish, LOL. Like the what is saying to the try to find me, because that's just games that we don't play, boys. We know this. And it's on Polish means he can't even read the fucking map. This says, come here, take your people. And right here, it kind of looks like he sent his contact info or something like that. She says, I'm by myself on the way. She doesn't respond. He says SMH. So she's like trying to play games. She's trying to play games. She wanted him. She's doing this yo-yo thing. You guys know how this shit goes. But he says SMH, shaking my head. She says, sleep well. And then the next day, you have a problem. You can't watch me, but I can watch you. And he says, what? And then the rest of the messages that pop up right here at the end, he says, what? She doesn't respond. And then 5-6 months later, champ, all the best. Thanks, champ. Happy birthday. So it's almost like she's doing this long game of trying to toy with him because she gets a kick out of it, in my opinion. Then we come back to Joanna's statement where Joaquin Buckley says, she did that shit. I ain't falling for it.
Yep. She did that shit. I ain't falling for it. You did that shit. Joanna, you know you did that shit.
And of course, Joanna's trying to play this like nice girl, all this different stuff. And it's clearly just not the case, in my opinion, at all. And there's so many people going after Jamahal Hill. I'm glad that at least some people are defending him. MMA Guru's defending him. Tony Has Died is defending him. One of my favorite meme pages and YouTube channels. He's defending Jamahal Hill. Joaquin Buckley as well. But then we got the absolute bottom of the barrel of MMA YouTube going after Jamahal, saying, remember when I said Jamahal Hill was an unhinged, delusional piece of shit and people called me a contrarian? Here he is on video threatening to knock out Joanna Jędrzejczyk, a woman. This comes roughly 2 years after he was arrested for domestic violence. He was not arrested for domestic violence. He got in a fist fight with his brother. It got too bad. They were arguing about money for a house cleaning fee. They got into a fist fight. His brother called the cops. All right. That's what it is. I have a twin brother. We've been in a fucking million fist fights and we train MMA and jiu-jitsu and all that shit together now. It's not that deep. Joey very clearly does not have anybody close enough in his life that where he's had just a straightener. That's all it is. It's a straightener. Y'all know what I'm saying? You just got to straighten some shit out. It doesn't always have to be domestic violence when you get into a fist fight with your brother. It's not right, but it happens. And then he says right here, accusing Jamahal Hill of domestic violence. Jamahal Hill was probably thinking nobody beats my GF except for me. Frankly, fuck you, bro. I don't even like Jamahal Hill at all. But fuck you, bro. You can't throw around these type of allegations. There's no evidence that he beats his girlfriend. There's no evidence of any of that. And I don't even like the guy. But this is fucked up, dude. You're a man. You're a grown man. Men get accused of this shit wrongfully all the time. Of course, men also do this shit all the time and get arrested for it or end up losing custody of their kids because of shit like this. I've talked about it in so many videos. I'm not justifying domestic violence. It's fucking wrong. But to go and put false allegations on somebody saying he beats his girlfriend, fucking terrible. MMA Joey, fuck you, bro. You're a piece of shit for that. Joanna doesn't really understand how lucky she got. Hill's brother didn't show up to Thanksgiving dinner. Jamahal had all that pent up energy from missing the Thanksgiving fade with his brother. He was about to catch a second domestic violence charge. And then here we have a clip of Jan Blachowicz, who just fought at UFC 323. Very, very close friends with Joanna Jędrzejczyk. This translation right here is not good, but there's a better one down here. It says that in the clip, it's in Polish, so I'm not going to play the clip, but it says, update, more accurate translation. Jamahal Hill, when we passed each other at the UFCPI, was very nice to me, so it's hard for me to comment on this situation because I don't have more information than what's happening on the internet. Well, if he's tough enough to insult Joanna, then come on. You don't do something like that. That is not a sportsman behavior, so we can settle it outside of sport. My experience is far greater there, so don't be surprised when I prove that Jan is better outside of sport when there is no ref to say stop. Now, I understand him standing up for his friend, but clearly, Jan lives in Poland, married with kids, the whole thing. Joanna, they may have trained together in Poland when they were younger, but she's in the US now, training at American Top Team, doing a lot of crazy shit that he doesn't know about. And so Jan, as a good guy, loyal to people that he came up with, I get it. Jan's a good guy. I'm not going to talk shit about Jan in this. He's defending somebody that he doesn't know anymore. Let's be real. He's defending somebody that doesn't know, he doesn't really know their character. He's just loyal to the soil, if you know what I mean. If he knew that Joanna was out here causing trouble basically everywhere she goes, he probably wouldn't threaten street violence against Jamahal Hill. Maybe he would, and that's fine too. You know, free country, whatever, you can say and do whatever you want. There are consequences though. Joanna clearly doesn't see that there's consequences to her threatening Jamahal Hill, threatening Jamahal Hill's girlfriend, things like that. Especially when you consider that this is what Joanna does. She was doing this to Colby Covington at ATT. I couldn't find the original interview, but this is a Colby Covington interview with James Lynch. I just collabed with him a couple weeks ago. Amazing interviewer, great MMA YouTuber, does great work. If you're subscribed to me, you should be subscribed to James Lynch. He does very good work. And go check out our collab. It's on my page. But this is him talking about Joanna yelling at him at ATT training.
I put a nice new Rolex on the line for a new Rolex, and that's exactly what came out of this. So I gave my apology that Joanna was looking for, James. Joanna's been begging for me to apologize for some time now. She wants me to apologize for something that I didn't even do. She wants me to apologize because she freaked out on me at American Top Team in the gym. She started screaming at me for no reason, James. I'm in the middle of training.
For no reason. Kind of seems like what she did to Jamahal Hill.
Getting ready, you know, thinking about my next fight, now that maybe Tyron Woodley's on the horizon, and she's just fucking screaming at me, just jealous and envious for no reason because she used to sweat me and I didn't want to take her on a date. And I don't.
He didn't want to take her on a date and she got mad. Now, this is the inverse of what happened with Jamahal Hill because she kind of curved Jamahal Hill. He admitted that. But here she is basically mad, in Colby Covington's words, that he wouldn't take her on a date.
I don't think she's cute nor attractive. So she doesn't fit the standards. She's not a 7.5 and up. So the fact that I didn't want her, she just screams at me. And then now she's in the media trying to slander my name and then trying to say I need to give her an apology. So James, the nice guy that I am, the all-American guy that I am, I gave her an apology, James. I said, I'm sorry, Joanna. I'm sorry that you're going to get your face rearranged this weekend. And we're all going to make a bunch of money at mybookie.ag. And that's exactly what happened. I called it to a T.
So that's pretty funny. And it's the MyBookie plug at the end is fucking hilarious as well. But for fuck's sake, I mean, she's mad at Colby for not taking her on a date, according to Colby. Now, we do have clips of her blasting Colby Covington on TMZ, ESPN, MMA, all this other shit. And this is some of it right here.
And Colby Covington, what is your message to Colby right now? There's a lot going on.
He's a prick. I don't care about this guy.
What?
Oh, you don't care about this guy, but you're calling him a prick.
He doesn't know how to act, you know. He's not a real man. He doesn't know how
Let's be real. Joanna doesn't know how to act.
to say hello, good morning, hi, so sorry to a woman. So
What is the root of all this, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know, like, you know, he was talking shit about Dustin Poirier, George Masvidal, who he was friend with. You can do that, you know. American Top Team, the number donor, the managers are putting a hell of a work to keep this spot together, you know. We have so many athletes from all over the world, different cultures, different experience, but we all working together, supporting each other. Sometimes you like someone more, sometimes less, but show the respect to your teammate. Don't talk bad about your teammates, and this is what Colby did, you know, and he's paying the price right now. You know?
I've talked to a lot of fighters. I want to ask you, do you think it's fair to say that Colby is the most disliked fighter in UFC?
I don't know. I wish him all the best. You know, he's my teammate, and I wish him all the best. But
he's a prick. I don't care about this guy, but also he's my teammate. I wish him all the best. If we're being real, if I'm being honest about this, Joanna's fucking batshit crazy, dude. And you could tell she's like aggressive and then not. Aggressive and then not. So she's like aggressive, picking fights, all this stuff, talking shit, and then tries to back off and settle back into that character of respectable business boss woman that her manager, the UFC, whoever wants her to portray. But you can see slips. You see little slips and little cracks in the personality where the true her comes out, where she acts fucking crazy.
you know, sometimes he should behave better, you know. Don't act like that.
Needs a little reality check. Maybe you can be the one to give it to him.
No, Usman already did that, you know, and he humbled him. He's better.
This is her with ESPN MMA talking the same thing about Colby Covington 2 years later.
There was an incident, I think, where you guys kind of like screamed at each other, right? I heard. Do you remember what happened and what you said and what he said?
No, I don't remember this situation. I think
She doesn't remember the situation. She did multiple interviews about it. She doesn't remember it. Now I get it. I post videos basically every day. There's over 800 videos on my channel. Like and subscribe. But I do videos almost every single day. And I forget some of the shit that I say. There's people I've talked shit about I don't even remember. But you do multiple interviews about a teammate and then you say you don't remember the situation? That doesn't make any sense. It sounds like a bold-faced fucking lie.
we were not screaming. There's just, we got into the arguments. I think it was because of all these girls and him acting like a king, you know?
She says all these girls and him acting like a king. So what it really means is, you remember the famous MyBookie ads where Colby would be standing with like 5 or 10 girls saying, use promo code Colby at mybookie.ag. That's what she's talking about. She's talking about how he acted like a king with all of these girls. And so what I'm thinking is that Joanna Jędrzejczyk does not like the idea of dudes she's potentially interested in having girls around them or a girlfriend or anything like that. Let's be real. All right. That's what it seems like, because she got mad about Jamahal Hill. Where's your girl? Where's your girl? She gets mad about Colby Covington having girls in the gym and filming social content. And in her retirement speech, she said she wants to retire and become a mom. That clearly has not taken place yet. So I can see this might cut deep. All right. But I think this is Joanna being really jealous of her inability to lock somebody down. That's what I genuinely think. Hate to say it, but it's kind of fucking true, in my opinion. So Colby then came back and defended himself. This is him with Brett Okamoto defending himself right here.
Why did you say what you said about Dustin Poirier? Why did you say what you said about Joanna Jędrzejczyk? Like, why start targeting people in the camp? It just seems like that would make your life more difficult. What happened with that?
See, Brett, that's what happened with that. No journalist out there can go look at the history or timeline of events of who started running their mouth first. I never said nothing to Joanna. I never said nothing to Dustin. They started getting jealous of my success and that I was rising up, and they're such egomaniacs. They didn't like that someone was, next to them in the gym that was on that same level in the UFC. So they started trashing me in the media. Oh, Colby and his antics. Oh, he's a piece of person. Dirtbag, blah, blah. Okay, yeah. You want to say things about me. Don't think I'm not going to say the truth right back to you. So, of course I'm going to come at the booby woman, Joanna. You're talking about me before I'm getting ready for a title fight. I've never said one thing about you. I don't care about you. You used to send me DMs, like after training, like wanting to flirt with me and go out on dates. Just because I didn't give you attention, Joanna, don't get mad at me and talk.
Colby doubles down saying she wanted to go out with him and he wouldn't give her attention. Sending him DMs sounds, while different, fairly similar to the Jamahal Hill situation.
Dustin saying it's on site when I never even talked about it. Oh, it's on site. I'm going to beat Colby's ass. And even before he said it was on site, he said, oh, I'm not training with Colby. F Colby. I'm Team Robbie Lawler when I was getting ready for the Robbie fight. And I was still at this gym. I'm like, Dustin, dude, I trained you all the time. Bro, I wrestled you every day. You never helped me with striking. You never did nothing. I always came in to help you with wrestling and jiu-jitsu. But now I'm a piece of in your Team Robbie Lawler? Dude, of course I'm going to come out and I'm going to defend myself. I'm not going to let these people just talk in the media and not be held accountable for their words, Brett. So, of course I'm going to naturally respond to that.
Now, we got to call both sides. We got to tell all sides of this story. Colby, fucking everybody hates him. Literally every gym that he's been at, people dislike him, all right? I'm not saying he's some terrible guy. He is a very disliked guy in the space, in gyms, with the fan base, a lot of it. So yes, Colby probably lies about some things. Yes, Colby probably is making some of this up, or at least when it comes to Dustin Poirier. I don't know. Joanna seems pretty crazy. I fuck with Dustin. I'm definitely Team Poirier, not Team Covington when it comes to that beef, especially with all the things that Colby said about Dustin's wife. But so Colby is a fibber in a lot of ways, and he's not even really a fighter anymore. He's more of a professional poker player. But Joanna, from what I've heard behind the scenes, Joanna gets around at ATT, and it very much seems like she's very dominant. And so she kind of exudes this tense confliction, likes to butt heads type of energy, but she also sleeps around. Apparently, behind the scenes, that's what they say. Apparently, she gets around at American Top Team and she gets around at these UFC events and stuff like that. So I can see how with all of that, with all of the reputation she's earned, getting very upset when that reputation gets threatened. But I'll leave you with this. This right here from Tony Has Died, one of my favorite meme pages. Jamahal Hill was right. When you look at the fact that Jamahal Hill exposed very, very unfavorable truths about himself, and when you look at the rest of the context, I think Jamahal Hill is right here in this situation. No, he's not right for cheating on his girlfriend or trying to. But he's right in this situation. He was defending his girl because she started threatening his girl and him for no reason. And Joanna's clearly fucking nuts, in my opinion. All right. So let me know your thoughts down below. Like, subscribe. See you next time. Do you want more from Fight Society? Like and subscribe below this video and click the join button to become a channel member today to get access to behind the scenes vlogs and members only live streams.